Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family. What's happening? To the Universal African Peoples Organization family, what's going on? And to New Life Evangelistic Center family headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to our amazing cameraman, Bob. On that note, we'll have a great show because in studio with me is a very intelligent, beautiful, caring young lady who's an author, as well as a activist, and we'll be doing a two-part series exploring her involvement and how we got opportunity to meet, as well as eventually discussing a joint effort of sending books to Gambia, West Africa. And I'm speaking of none other than Miss Kendra Fipps, and I always mess up Fipps. Did I get it right?
You didn't do it this time. Good morning. Thank you.
All right. How are you doing
so much.
Today?
I'm doing very well.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's good. You know, for the audience's sake, I just wanted them to walk with us in terms of how we have interacted, as well as on a major project that you challenged the organization as well as myself to achieve, and that's sending thousands of books to help build a library in Gambia. Yes. But before we do that, there was a pathway that allowed us to get there. Right. And I want to kind of explore that and by exploring your life. First of all, just give us some basic details of your life first and foremost, then we'll get into how we met.
Totally basic. I'm from a small city called Mount Bayou, Mississippi, born and raised by a single mother, 5 kids, and being raised in a city that has so much history and culture, and reflecting on being able to stand on the shoulders of giants. And so I would be remiss if I don't say that the spirit of Mount Bayou lives within me, that has afforded me to do what I'm doing because of our ancestors.
I know that's right. Well, you brought up for me East St. Louis, Illinois. You know, had molded myself. You know,
right.
But when you say Mount Bayou has some historical impacts, I guess nationally or what have you, describe them, if you will.
I want you to, if you can imagine Black Wall Street, if you can imagine an all-black city back in the late 1800s, if you can imagine the first hospital that would serve over 5,000 people with only 42 beds, if you can imagine a hotel, along with that a theater, their own bank, being able to have a gin that was the #1 selling of cotton in the world, if you can only imagine that. Those are the streets in which I come from.
Okay, I heard that then.
Yeah.
Okay then. And within that context, also coming out of that, which I failed to make mention, I may have said that you were molded to end up writing a book. And what's the title of your book?
So, self-published author of 2 books, but the first book that was extremely empowering for me to write was The 7 Secrets to Overcome Any Obstacle, Endurance. And that book was a dedication to my late son, and that led the way. The only goal for that book to be written was really a dedication to him, and I wanted to allow women to know that they can make it, they will survive, and getting over any type of obstacle, it is really about endurance and time.
Okay. And we're going to get into the book, some of the aspects. You say 7.
7 secrets to overcome any obstacle.
Okay, and I want to explore those 7 secrets. But going back to your childhood, now Mount Bayou, was it predominantly black area? Because I understand it had, historically, there were a number of settlements that are predominantly black that had self-sufficiency, including banks and what have you.
Right.
So was it Mount Bayou predominantly black?
Yes, Mount Bayou was an all-black city. Mount Bayou was...
What kind of population?
So back then, if you look at Mount Bayou, let's say Mount Bayou started with at least 25 to 3,000 people in its early settlements, and we have to go back and confirm the numbers. But the town was purchased by and created by 2 ex-slaves. And they purchased what would be, and everyone knows the history of Jefferson Davis and what he did during the Civil War, and his brother Joseph Davis, and the people that lived on that plantation with Joseph Davis. He believed in a utopia, meaning that the blacks could get an education, and they did. And so Benjamin Green is the father of Isaac T. Montgomery, and he wanted his sons to go find a settlement for the black community because you had architects. I mean, they were going to school, they had degrees, they were farming, and from all of that education, in the midst of the Civil War, Jefferson Davis sold his plantation to that group of people for $300,000.
And Jefferson Davis, though, was the president of, the head of the Confederacy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So he did want his plantation to be burned. So he sold that plantation to those settlers, which I don't like using the word ex-slaves. I don't like using that terminology because at the time they were, and as we progress, we were able to purchase that land. They purchased that land for $300,000.
From Jefferson Davis.
From Jefferson Davis. And
Wow.
then he came back because it wasn't burned, and he came back and he took the land back in Mississippi. And this is around the Yazoo area. And once that happened, Isaac T. Montgomery and Benjamin Green was on a quest, and they struck a deal with the railroads, and they purchased land for Mount Bayou in the middle of 2 mounds, in the middle of a swamp that they created Mount Bayou, and that would be our city, in which is still there today.
Okay, and with a population today of?
Well, I'd say probably still around 2,100 people.
Oh, okay then. On that note, we're going to take our first break.
Do you have any idea how many people are having to sleep outside? Yes, viewers of the Zaki Baruti Show, you are being called into action at this time. Your help is urgently needed here at the New Life Evangelistic Center. Our teams are going out every day, and we need your prayers. We need your gifts here because we receive no city, state, or federal dollars. How many times I have to personally run to the store in order to just buy meat and bread? People could be making sandwiches and bringing them to the doors here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. They could be buying cases of water and bringing them here so we can get these out to the homeless people. 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. They could write out those checks and send them in because we have to buy this. They're depending upon us. And not only that, they get bus tickets, hundreds and even thousands of bus tickets distributed to so many people who need transportation assistance. We can't do it without each and every one of you. It's New Life Evangelistic Center. P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You give online at nlecstl.org. Your prayers are urgently needed at this time. Come on, and you watch the Zaki Baruti Show. You hear about the various issues. Now it's important that we respond to those issues by helping so many people that have fallen through the safety nets in spite of the promises of the politicians. So many people are hurting right now. They're out there. They don't know where to go. What are they doing? I don't see hardly anything in St. Louis County, Jefferson County, St. Francis County. I can mention county after county, Madison County, St. Clair County. They want to ship them to St. Louis. St. Louis can't take care of all the problems. But we got to get all these other counties involved. In the meantime, we got to get your church involved. We need you. But let's get our churches involved. Let's reach out. Let's help those that Jesus referred to. The least of these, after you've done to them, you've done it unto him. Let's help them right now. Please get involved. Call us at 314-421-3020 or share that much needed gift at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. You can give online at nlecstl.org.
When you partner with New Life Evangelistic Center, you impact so many people. The economy in this country is really hurting so many all over. And we're seeing the number of people who are experiencing homelessness rise. You can make a difference today by giving your gift online at newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Make a real big change in the lives of so many.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is the Universal African Peoples Organization ambassador to the Kantu region of Gambia, West Africa. And this is going to be a two-part series, as I stated early on in the program, exploring your life and how we have interacted on a historic project to help the people of Gambia. And in summation, going back on the other side of the break, Mount Bayou came out of, first of all, was a land pat area controlled by the former head of the Confederacy, Jefferson Davis, who gave it, sold it to the black people, which is shocking, and then came back and took it again. And then two other blacks outside of the area left the area from where they were at to try to find and build a community of black people, and that's how it came to be Mount Bayou. Is that a summation of that?
Yes, very good.
Okay,
Very
then.
good.
Okay then. And now, growing up there, did you go into college life, or did you do that?
So I growing up in Mount Bayou, I would say it afforded me to play basketball because there was only two sports. You had basketball and you had football.
You mean to tell me you played basketball?
I did.
Now, could you shoot?
A power forward.
Oh, you were a power forward, huh? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so right after high school, as I was making the transition into college, my first son came, and I ended up going into cosmetology school because I knew that there had to be a path for sustainability for my family. And my son was diagnosed with a form of meningitis 8.5 months, and he ended up having 2 strokes.
Wow.
And so I think the tenacity and the willpower to keep moving was birthed out of the love and inspiration of Adrian. So from coaching.
And Adrian is your son's name. Okay.
Yes, Adrian is my son that made a transition 3 years ago, and I have a daughter, Andrea, as well. And she's in Phoenix, Arizona, with 2 grandchildren. So what embodies me is legacy, family, and integrity.
Okay, then. And your journey to becoming an author, how did that transcend? I mean, explain that process.
Well, if my coach ever watched this, I will have to give a plug for my coach because she said write the other book around marketing. But I truly wanted to write The 7 Secrets to Overcome Any Obstacle, Endurance, in honor of Adrian, like I said a moment ago. So that book was just really near and dear to my heart. It's a 2-parter. The goal for that particular book is a very easy read.
When was it published? I'm sorry, didn't you?
It was published 3 years ago.
Okay.
It's been 3 years ago.
All right.
So it's a 2-parter. So you have a journal, and then at the end of each chapter, there's 2 thought-provoking questions. And someone that read the book, that I will always quote her, and this is Rena Evers. We know Medgar Evers, his daughter. She said, your book is on my nightstand, and keep doing what you're doing.
I know that's right. And just for folks who may not be aware, Medgar Evers was a civil rights attorney, I believe, and fighting for voters' rights, but he was bushwhacked, shot in the back, and killed for trying to register black people to vote in Mississippi. So the 7 secrets to overcoming, because people be having, in life, lots of obstacles come in life, right?
Right.
And so you wrote this in response to your son's death, you said?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So what are those obstacles, the secrets that we'll do? Yeah, secret number 1.
So here's the book, and I hope that they can take this acronym. And if you take the acronym and you take the book, you can apply it. And I think the 7 secrets is just enhancing the acronym that God gave me as I was writing the book. And we all have heard of AARP, of course. And so no infringements on their rights. So I want you to take the concept of the AARP, and it's acknowledgement, acceptance, respond, and pivot. So if you look at the 7 secrets, you can acknowledge something has happened.
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
you
that's
can
the first
accept,
step. Yeah.
acknowledging,
Right.
right? And then accepting that it has happened because
Right.
you can't change.
Wish away. You can't wish away stuff that's not good, or you just can't wish it away. Okay.
Now it's time to respond.
Right.
And then you pivot.
Okay.
Pivot meaning you're turning away. So even for me to go into the 7 secrets, the overarching piece is to be able to take that one tool, that one concept, and being able to apply it in every situation. You can acknowledge it, you can accept it, you can respond, and you can pivot.
Okay then. So what's the second secret?
So going into the secrets, the first secret is truly forgiveness. I'm big on forgiveness. I know that once you forgive, you set the prisoner free, and the prisoner is yourself.
Okay. Then number 2.
Number 2, let's go into looking at life and relationships, because I did a lot on relationships. And this book is a reflection on my life, and I use the analogy of the Heartbreak Hotel.
Heartbreak Hotel. Lord have mercy.
I know. I use that analogy, and I want you to think about going into a 5-star hotel. You have a bellman. They take your luggage from your car, a handwritten note on your bed to welcome you. But if you stay too long in that hotel, it becomes unhealthy.
Absolutely.
Right.
You'll be kicked out.
You're going to be kicked out, right?
Right.
So use the analogy of being kicked out of a relationship because you stayed too long.
Oh, okay.
And so the Heartbreak Hotel just shares the story and the journey of me staying in a place too long, and I realized that all the amenities that was there no longer there, and I had to leave the hotel.
Okay. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. I got some Kleenex.
Behind me is the New Life Evangelistic Center administrative offices in Overland, Missouri. And this is where we shoot our shows for our worship shows and the Here's Help Network. And it's also where Zaki Baruti and Bernie Hayes shoot their shows. You can find all of these shows at the New Life Evangelistic Center app, the NLEC TV app. You can also access them on your tablet or on your computer. And this is how you can stay up to date with all the things that New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. There are so many different programs that we've got going on, and God is doing many exciting things through partners like you. So if you want to support the work that New Life is doing, then please access and give through the app. You can go online at nlecstl.org, or give us a call at 314-421-3020. Again, 314-421-3020. But this is the best way to get plugged into the amazing work that New Life is doing through people like you. And so there is something for you to get involved in today. And we are so thankful for our partners. Only through the grace of God and your gift are we able to bless others today.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Miss Kendra Fipps, who is the UAPO ambassador to Gambia. And I always mess up that last name. I thought I had it totally correct, but right. Fipps, right. Kendra Fipps, right. Author and activist in our community. And we're discussing her book, and she's just giving us a little tidbits that each of you should check it out. And before I go into the other tidbits of the book, how can they get a copy of the book?
You can always go on Amazon, and you can Google the 7 secrets or search the 7 secrets to overcome any obstacle, endurance, and also my name, Kendra Fipps, Crow at the time. And so the book is there. Read the reviews. I mean, sometimes people love reviews, so go out and read the reviews, and if it halfway makes sense to you, we would love for you to purchase. And also purchase for your book club.
I know, that's right, and we want it to be a bestseller too, right?
It's a bestseller.
Oh, okay, all right then. Yes. Okay then, so Going back to little tidbits of those secrets and not in great detail, we have covered 3 of them. So number 4.
If you stay on the category of relationships, I'm speaking to husbands and wives, because sometimes husbands don't always support their wives, and sometimes wives don't always support their husband. But in the book, I share a story. One of my closest friends wanted to start a business, and her husband was not supporting. He ended up taking her computer, slammed it on the floor, and broke the computer.
Wow.
And all she had was her cell phone. And so she started that business using her cell phone and actually started making money. And then the husband was happy and he was very supportive.
Oh.
So that particular golden nugget is, if just stay. Sometimes you have to prove yourself. And proving yourself meaning using every tool that you have in your disposal. So she left the computer and went to her cell phone. All things are possible.
Absolutely. Number 5.
Here's number 5. I truly do believe in a mentor. A mentor is big. You had a mentor, several mentors throughout your lifetime.
Absolutely.
And I've had several mentors throughout my lifetime. So I would say you truly need a mentor. Definitely grab a mentor as soon as you possibly can.
6.
Help. Sometimes I use the analogy of being parked on the side of an interstate. And this is an analogy I'll use. You're parked on the side of the interstate and your car broke down and you never get out and you never call anyone. Reach out for help. People are standing by to help you.
And 7.
7. Endurance is going to take tenacity and skills and really wanting to invest in you to apply yourself. So personal development is really all about personal development, which would be 7. That encapsulates endurance.
Okay, and once again, share how people may get a copy of your book, your bestseller book.
Yes, it's best-selling on Amazon and 9 different categories. And you can go out and grab it on Amazon. The 7 Secrets to Overcome Any Obstacle, Endurance.
Okay, and on that note then, we're going to take our last break.
Visit us at the New Life Evangelistic Center, 806 North Jefferson in Springfield, or 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And when you do, pick up a copy, or multiple copies of the ZOA free papers. Yes, we want to make these available to you without charge. Some people say, what's ZOA? It's the Greek word for life that begins now and goes on forever through Jesus Christ. That's how the New Testament Greek brought it out. ZOA, Zoe, okay? Free paper. Now, if you don't know Jesus and you use that word for animalistic existence like zoology or zoo, well, Jesus has come to give us life and give it to us in abundance. That's what this paper is all about. And you can get extra copies by coming by 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. We have the new issue that's out right now where he says he wants to behold, I want to do a new thing. I think you'll find it very inspiring. And of course, they're all free of charge. So come on by and pick up your copies of New Life ZOA free paper at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. Please pray for the work of the New Life Evangelistic Center as we work to be there when people are hurting.
One of the most significant events in Tulsa's history was a race riot that occurred in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921, following World War I. Tulsa boasted of one of the most affluent African-American communities in the country, known as the Greenwood District, but surrounded by residentials known as the Black Wall Street. On the morning of May 30th, 1921, a young black man named Dick Rowland was riding in the elevator with a woman named Sarah Page. The Tulsa police arrested Rowland the following day. Over 6,000 people who were held in the convention hall in the fairgrounds, some as long as 8 days. In the early morning hours of June 21st, Black Tulsa was looted and burned by white rioters. 24 hours after the violence erupted, 35 city blocks lay in charred ruins, and in 2001, the Tulsa Race Riot Commission indicated that historians now believe that close to 3,000 black people died in the riot. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Are you having a hard time right now? A lot of people are. That's why you need to pick up your Bible, read Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. You're serving an almighty God. Don't lean on that understanding. Don't let that fear consume you. Get into God's Word. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. Let His light and love flow in you and through you.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is Miss Kendra Fipps. Fipps. And we were discussing her book and our effort jointly of getting ready to ship, which will be part 2, thousands of books to the country of Gambia. Share real quick, how did we meet?
We ended up meeting in Jackson, Mississippi. Can you believe that?
And where were we at?
We were at an Emmett Till Legacy Foundation. They were doing an event honoring Emmett Till. And you were at that event, and the executive director of the movie, along with another producer of the movie, Barbara Broccoli, was there, and along with quite a few others that was actually in the room. Even the actor that was there of Till, Emmett Till, Jaden was
The movie Till.
The Till movie,
Right,
yes.
right. And everyone should make a point of seeing it. I'm sure they can still pull it up out for some kind of media outlet, right?
Right, it's on Amazon.
Okay. And then we reconnected and began a joint project. How did we reconnect?
I used what I had in my hand, being extremely resourceful. I did a text blast to all of my friends, and I texted you and I shared with you that we had donated over 15,000 sanitary napkins to the Gambia. And I was looking for support for our 2 for 2 challenge. And we reconnected, and you wanted to know a little bit more about what I was doing in the Gambia to help our girls stay in school.
And I salute you for that. And out of that conversation, in part 2 of our interview, what transpired?
What transpired was this. You said that I've successfully shipped in containers over 5 different projects, and I was excited because success leaves clues. And I said, could we do this for the Gambia? Could we launch our first library book drive? And you said yes.
Yes, and ever since I've been whipped into a whole lot of great work, and I just thank you for asking that, and just for the audience in terms of our organization past efforts to help people, our people throughout the diaspora. In our first year founded in 1989, we shipped about 70 boxes of new clothing to Namibia. 2003, we coordinated an effort that shipped 450 boxes of clothing and medical supplies to Zimbabwe. 2004, we did 540 boxes of food, water, clothing, medical supplies to Haiti to help that country in the wake of Hurricane Ivan. 2008, the Ethiopian community asked that we lead a drive to ship books there to help fight illiteracy. Our organization was able to ship 9,000 books there. And then in 2015, we shipped 10,000 books to Ghana. And I'm proud to say that we, on this most recent effort, through the kind request of Ms. Kendra Fipps, that we set a goal of 7,000 books. And we were talking about Afrocentric books, vocational, technical, educational books. And I'm proud to say that we've been blessed to generate over 7,000 books. So with that said, it's just a blessing, and again, it's been a great experience, and I truly thank you for your request and your support for that great effort.
Thank you.
Okay then. And as always, as I close, I encourage everybody to be involved in some organization that speaks truth to power and working to uplift people. We say join the Universal African Peoples Organization, as well as at every election, you got to go out and vote. But before you go out and vote, you need to know about the issues. May God bless each and every one of you.